All right. I think we all know that the alt-right relies very heavily on their marketability. They put a lot of effort into maintaining a good public image and playing the optics game perfectly. Now, the reason that they do this is because all of their ideas and their beliefs are horrendous. They want to more or less destroy our entire society, to exterminate, deport, or imprison a massive segment of the population of our country and revert us back to a time that is significantly worse than things are now. Um, so, in order to make this sort of ideology appeal to people, they have to look really good. And that's why Richard Spencer and a lot of other, modern alt right figures play the optics game very well up until they get found out, which we'll get into in a second. But Richard Spencer, for example, played the optics game perfectly. He wore a suit, he stayed well groomed. He wasn't what you would think of when you thought of a white supremacist or a Nazi, right? And this allowed him to gain some level of credibility in particular circles, politically speaking. He was on CNN and Fox News and MSNBC. He went on a ton of different news channels and spoke to possibly millions of people. But the problem is, when you are wearing a mask, like these Nazi types do, that mask will inevitably crack and break. And the true nature of those that are doing the dog whistling and the optics will reveal itself. Now, do you remember back in 2016 when Richard Spencer got punched in the street and everyone and their mother was like, "No, no, no, no. He's not even a Nazi." But even if he was, I think we need to make sure that even Nazis have the right to free speech. You shouldn't just assault people. I will fight and die and kill for a Nazi's right to free speech. You know that whole thing that went on? Well, thankfully, it's not really something that's as popular to say nowadays. I feel like our political climate has sort of shifted a bit more further left, and people are a little less naive about these things, and they kind of realize, particularly after Charlottesville and the Christchurch shooting and that one San Diego mosque shooting or synagogue shooting. There's been a lot of neo-Nazi terror attacks now. I think most people with more than two brain cells sort of realize that if you give Nazis an inch, they'll take a mile. And that mile is going to involve a lot of dead people on the side of the road, figuratively speaking, and literally. So people don't really say that as much anymore. But what happened, or what happens, when one of these Nazi guys ends up going mask off and breaks the illusion that the alt-right is this competent, well put together, respectable group of people? Well, they disavow. Now, I'm not talking about the meme disavowal, like oh, David Duke is here, I disavow. Not that kind of disavow, like an actual disavowment. I genuinely believe that some of these Nazi types are deluded enough to believe that whenever one of their Nazi figures ends up doing some shit that makes the entire movement look bad, they genuinely believe that they're a plant. You know how on the left, when you see like a woke scold or a tanky or some lefty doing something really, really cringy and disgusting online, and we all say, nice try, CIA. That was a good attempt, CIA. Nice CIA plant. I mean, whoever all right, whoever typed up that one at the CIA did a pretty good job. That's a good psyop. You know how we say that? Well, in the case of the Nazis, American Johnson. In the case of the Nazis, they don't say CIA psyop. They just say Fed. FED, like someone working for the government, I guess. And I've noticed this a lot. Most alt-right spaces say that Richard Spencer's a Fed now. Same for most other alt-right or neo-Nazi figures that have, and Fed posting. They'll say Fed posting as well. Whenever like a Nazi guy ends up doing some shit that makes the entire alt-right movement look bad, they call them a Fed, and they disavow them, And I genuinely think that they are deluded enough to believe that this is true. But today, a washed up Nazi YouTuber and streamer named Baked Alaska, who you may remember because about a year ago he tried to do the I'm leaving the alt-right rabbit hole grift, but everyone saw through it and he didn't get anywhere with it. He was doing a live stream in which he was walking around this small town in, I believe, Arizona, and would go into private businesses, refuse to wear a mask, and then whenever shut up about the Nazi punch clip. And he would refuse to wear a mask. And whenever, like the employees of the place would be like, "Hey, you have to leave," or "Could you please put on a mask?" He would start screaming, telling them to go fuck themselves, calling them communists, and threatening them, and saying a bunch of cringy shit. All the while streaming with text to speech on, so his chat can donate and say really cringy shit and have it blare out through the shop. So the first one we're going to watch is, and two big videos came out from this live stream. One in which he enters a convenience store and starts causing some shit, and one in which he enters a some kind of like, I think it was like a visitor center for the state of Arizona. It looked like some kind of like big, really nice visitor center slash gift shop, but like massive. So we're gonna watch both videos, and I want to talk about some things. Okay, we're gonna have fun, we're gonna laugh about it, and we're just gonna go ahead and watch.
Shut the fuck up, bitch! How about that? You're a little communist snitch, bro.
Get out.
You leave.
Get out.
You small ass dick motherfucker. What are you gonna do about it?
I'd like you to notice how quickly his chat is moving. This is something that's always kind of depressed me. Like the big gift shop we stopped at, Xander Hall. Kind of like the ones that we stopped at in the desert, but way bigger. You'll see in a minute, babe. This is just a convenience store. This is the first video. Notice how, despite the fact that this guy, by Nazi standards, is washed up and has no audience, his chat is just flying by, and he gets a bunch of donations and stuff. The alt-right is very good at supporting their figures, even if they're like completely washed up like pieces of shit. And you gotta give them that, though. Like, alt-right figures and people on the right have funding from like millionaires. Their community usually funds them, but for like lefty figures, it's like it's all grassroots, which I kind of appreciate. I like that that for the most part, most leftist figures are more grassroots about it, about how they make their money. Although there are some exceptions to this. Hold on, I'm gonna go off topic for just a minute. Can we talk about I need to do an entire segment on this, but I just want to say there is an exception to this, and I know people are going to bring it up because I'm fucking pissed about it too. Hypers, if you're aware of Brianna Joy Gray and Brianna Joy Gray and Virgil Texas. Fuck, where's the Damn, I'm trying to find the tweet. Did she delete her tweet? She deleted it! No fucking way! Fuck. Okay, so basically, I'm not surprised that she deleted this tweet. Yeah, of course she deleted it. Oh, I wish somebody had a screenshot of it. I'll summarize the tweet. Basically, she tweeted that she is unemployed and lives in a 500 square foot studio apartment, and that she's super poor. Mind you, Brianna Joy Gray, or whatever the fuck her name is, I'm always going to think Brianna Greyjoy, like Theon Greyjoy from Game of Thrones. So, Brianna Greyjoy, she runs a podcast called the Bad Faith Podcast. Very accurate, by the way. I need to do a whole political segment on that. That makes and it's behind a paywall. You have to pay and be a Patreon subscriber to have access to this podcast. And It makes right now about $24,000 a month, and it's split between about 2 people. It hit her and Virgil. Now, it's possible they have other people behind the scenes that get paid too, but also they get sponsorships and she gets paid through other means. But she is lying. So I made this tweet. You run a podcast put behind a paywall that makes $24K plus a month between 2 people. You're making somewhere in the ballpark of $12K a month, and if you aren't paying anyone else, that's $144K a year before taxes. I've made $38,000 so far this year. It's true. I've made about $38,000 so far this year. And have a 2-bedroom, 2-bath apartment in California. She is a full-on grifter. I'll do my own whole segment on her. She, like, Bernie Sanders had to disavow her. Like, Bernie Sanders had to, separate himself from her because she's such a unbelievable dumb fuck. Like, she is really fucking stupid. Anyway. With that said, though, for the most part, lefty creators get all of their money from, like, grassroots type stuff. But goddamn, do Nazis get paid well. Nazis know how to take care of their own. But, yeah.
What are you gonna do about it, bitch? How about you don't talk to me like that? Fucking small-ass dick bitch. Huh? Call the police over a mask? You guys are fucking cucks, dude. Look at you. Look at you.
He's literally, like, stepping into their... Like, you're not supposed to go behind the counter. He's literally walking behind the counter. Yeah, this dude is, I mean... I don't know if there's all that much that I can say, but I want to promise you, this is what all of them are like. All the Nazis. Every last one of them. Every last neo-Nazi alt-right type, no matter how professional they act, no matter how much they claim that they're just identitarians who care about maintaining a cultural hegemony of the Western world. This is what they're all like on the inside. And every time one of these people ends up getting, like, outed or their career starts to fail, this is what they resort to, because this is all that they're good at. This is what these people actually are. What we're about to witness is mask-off alt-righters revealing their true nature to those that are, to, like, normal people. To just, like, normal people out in the world. Because most people aren't these terminally online lefties like us, or terminally online Nazis that sit on 4chan all day. Most of them don't want to leave the comfort of their own rooms. But these are just, like, normal people, normal wage slaves doing their job, and they are not amused by any of this shit. And I think we can all just cringe at this interaction. It's like water and oil mixing.
You're fucking 400-ass pounds. Get on a fucking treadmill, bitch. SJW-ass bitch. Blue hair-ass, looking-ass bitch. Pull your mask up. How about fuck you?
Shut the hell up and get the hell out.
Oh, triggered! Dude, we got someone triggered over here. You are triggered as fuck, Emily.
I feel this is the, like, actual personification of what left-leaning people would caricature the anti-SJW community as back in 2015. Or I should say more like 2017. You guys remember how back from, like, 2014 to early 2017, the anti-SJW stuff just fucking dominated the online space and a lot of culture in general, even outside of the internet. Like, you know how that was a thing? And then eventually around 2017, the left online started to grow a bit more. And, you know, ContraPoints and PhilosophyTube and H-Bomber Guy and Sean and Three Arrows and all of them started to get some prevalence. Destiny was, you know, slaughtering these types of figures. And there actually started to become a sizable amount of people who are left-leaning online to sort of have more of a cultural pushback against this kind of shit. Right when that first started, this was the caricature of the anti-SJWs that us lefties, well, I wasn't a lefty quite yet at the time, but that lefties would make of the anti-SJW community at the time. And the anti-SJWs would be like, that's not us. That's not, oh, this isn't us. Come on. But it really is. It really is. This is what these people are like, unironically. Going to a store and calling like a random worker triggered when they ask you to leave uh, uh, because you're not following the store's rules. Mind you, this guy's a capitalist. He's in favor of public property. He hates communism, or not public property, private property, and he is getting triggered, unironically, that a private business is asking him to leave because they refuse to follow the rules of said private business, which he is so much in favor of. This is a really important thing to remember. Fascistic ideology is inherently incoherent. It just doesn't work, right? You can't simultaneously be like super pro-capitalism, no state intervention in capitalism whatsoever, while at the same time getting unbelievably triggered when private businesses set ground rules for being allowed to enter their private property and be there, and then get mad when they ask you to leave because you refuse to follow those rules. This is a fundamentally incompatible idea. This is the problem with fascistic ideologies.
Leave, please. Leave, please. Oh, shut down real quick. Please leave. How's that icy? How's that icy? You need some more calories, don't you? Look at those rolls. Holy fuck. Blue hair ass, SJW ass looking bitch. Fuck you and fuck your mask, you fucking communist.
Socialist distancing. So that was the first video. Pretty good, pretty cringe. We got the SJW thing here. Now, you guys are probably pretty upset that he was allowed to just sort of leave and do that and sort of ruin those people's nights, but you'll be glad to hear that there is a part 2 in which he likely went down the street or shortly, or just a little bit down the road a bit, and he ends up going into this store, this sort of welcome center type thing. Pretty big place, pretty cool, and I think you're all gonna like how this ends.
Do you need a mask?
Yeah, I actually do. Do you have one? All right, thank you. I have one here to say, fuck your mask! I'm not wearing it.
Okay, get out then, man.
No, I want, do you guys have any, do you have pepper, do you have bear spray?
No.
Okay, I'm sorry,
She's not
can I get a
too
mask?
bright
I was just
either.
kidding.
You can't
Let
really
me get a
fix
mask.
that low.
Dude, get out.
Let me get a mask.
Get out.
What do you mean? I don't have to.
You're being annoying. We've asked.
I'm not being annoying.
Private
Okay,
business.
shh.
I'm sorry, but if someone says you're being annoying and your response is I'm not being annoying, you may want to consider, reconsider whether or not you're being annoying. You know, this is the kind of dude, and I can't stress this enough. Hypers, if you've ever gone to a website called Kiwi Farms, I generally don't go there anymore, but back when I first started doing YouTube, I would sort of check the threads on Kiwi Farms about Breadtubers just to see what they're saying, and a lot of what they say is like, look at these lol cows, and they'll like dig into like the tiniest minute details of people's lives, like usually like left-leaning figures' lives. And I'm talking about the more political side of Kiwi Farms. Like all of Kiwi Farms is political. They're all, degenerate pieces of shit. But I'm talking about the ones that are really fucking pissed about Breadtube, that sort of section, right? Now, what they'll do is, aside from doxing and, just like shit-talking people, is they'll sort of delve into the personal details of these particular figures' lives, and they'll call them lolcows. Basically, if they've ever made any type of mistake or ever done something cringy or anything goes bad in their lives. But I cannot stress this enough. All of these people that you see on websites like that, on 4chan, 8chan, Kiwi Farms, what have you, are just like Baked Alaska. This is what all these people are like deep down. Nobody with in a functioning mental state can exist on a platform like that and not be somebody like this dude. They're all like this. No matter how much they try to play the cool, disaffected, don't really give a fuck kind of guy, like this is all of them. It's all projection. They'll call people lolcows when these are the figures that they follow. This is what they're all like. No matter how much they try to play it off and play the optics games, this is what they all are deep down. This is all of them. They are the actual lolcows. It's all about copium, and projection. And so one thing that you'll notice is a lot of these people are in some way mentally disabled. Now, this on its own is not a bad thing at all, but you'll notice if you go to these types of threads, 4chan and whatnot, you'll find that they typically like to use words like spurg or what's the other one? Fuck, I can't remember right now. They like to use exceptional individual as like a, you know, a sort of ironic PC version of saying like someone is special, you know, like ironically. Yeah, spaz, all that kind of stuff, you know. But you'll find that a lot of these people are also in some way disabled. Like a lot of them have autism or whatever. And there's nothing wrong with having autism, obviously, but they think there's something wrong with it. So when they go to these types of forums like Kiwi Farms and 4chan, you see that these people who all absolutely have some form of autism go out of their way to harass anyone else who has it, or any other kind of like mental disability or whatever, I guess, or differently abled thing. And you'll find the same thing with other stigmatized groups, right? There are a surprising amount of trans people, usually trans women, on 4chan, 8chan, and Kiwi Farms that incessantly go after other trans people. As a matter of fact, there is one example that comes to mind that we all probably know. Rose of Dawn frequents 4chan. She is one of those people that Blair White syndrome. Yeah, but Blair White probably doesn't spend a lot of time on 4chan and stuff like that. She comes off as too sort of, I don't know. Yeah, I don't get that impression from her. But Rose of Dawn, absolutely. That's a thing. Some of these people hate themselves so much for their own like identity, or their own ableism, or their own disability, that they'll go after other people and project their own self-hatred onto others. And this is very common. At the end of the day, all of this shit is just projection. This is what all these people are like, and so they play the optics game to try to seem like that's not how they really are. Nice store, though.
These are nice tents. Ooh, Mondo. Mondo could use a new tent, couldn't he? All right. Ooh, hats. Dude, this hat looks based. Okay.
I'm sorry. I can't. Oh, look. Hey, Keemstar. How you doing?
Yo.
Why do all these kinds of people look the same? This is what this is every single type of person like this. I don't know what I would call this kind of person. You know, the people that do shit like this, you know, Keemstar, for example, this guy, people who believe that this is like an appropriate way to act in society. They all look the same. I don't know why, but they all look the same. He looks exactly how you'd expect. It's similar to how if you've never seen what Keemstar looks like, he also looks exactly how you would expect him to look like, right? This is like the it's like a Karen, right? Like Karens for the most part all look the same. You know? Like they all have a set of features outside of their personalities. Like their personalities match their look. They usually have a similar haircut. They usually kind of dress the same way. Like you just kind of know, right? You can just kind of know by looking at them, right? I feel like there's the same kind of person like this. He's kind of a Kyle. You know what I'm talking about? You know, the Monster Energy, the punching a hole in the drywall, that kind of thing. I don't know. It's just you can kind of predict exactly what he would look like. Now, I already knew what he looked like because, you know, I know who Baked Alaska is, but I think we can all admit, those of you in chat who didn't know what he looked like, this is exactly what you expected.
Oh, dude. I want to get this hat. How much is this? Let's see. Yeah, I want to get this shit. Shit's bomb.
Keemers? They're just gnomes. Call them gnomes.
You're calling the cops over a mask? There's no mask, man.
You're trespassing on private property. You've screamed and cussed at them, and you've made yourself, at least in some way, like I would honestly say that he's done enough to make it so that these workers could reasonably assume that he's dangerous, like could try to physically harm them. Yeah, absolutely. I wouldn't be surprised if, at least in Arizona, if it would have been legal for them to shoot him by now.
Mandate in Arizona, ma'am. There is no mask mandate in Arizona, ma'am. Yeah, exactly.
You're on private property. We can require a mask. Thank you.
Can I just buy this hat real quick?
No, I can't.
Doesn't it look nice? I can't buy this hat?
Dude, stop being a dickhead. And
I'm
get
not
out
being a
of the store.
dickhead. I want to buy this hat.
That's cute. We're not going to sell anything.
Why not?
Get
Let me
out.
just buy the hat. Is this not America, bro?
No, we've asked you to leave your.
Oh, it's not America, so you're communist. Nice.
Asked you to
If you couldn't hear over the donation, he said, "You're not going to sell this to me? Isn't this America, bro? Oh, this isn't America, so you're a communist." Holy shit, dude. Jesus fucking Christ. Oh my god. You gotta be fucking kidding me. Okay, once again, going back to the inherent incoherence of fascistic ideologies, the lady just said this is private property. You need to follow the rules on our private property. This is a private business. And he responds, "What are you? A communist?" Oh my god. Oh, jeez. I would love to ask this dude what he thinks communism is. Bro, communism is when it's not America. This guy, it's funny, because what this guy thinks communism is identical to what tankies think communism is. Anything that dislikes or isn't America. Yeah, that's what it is. Anything anti-American, that's what communism is. Tankies and Nazis, they're like hand in hand on this. They both agree.
You sound really...
So,
She is just Shia testing you if you are a beta without even realizing it. All women do that. Once she gets you, don't give a damn. She will be cute AF.
look, I want to embrace the true American.
We're gonna watch a different video after this that this reminds me of, but I don't think there's anything I need to say there, but wow, can we all cringe at that collectively? Just collectively cringe at that donation. These are the kinds of people that follow figures like this, and this is what they are all like. They're all incels, extremely insecure about being unable to have sex with a woman, and so they grow an intense hatred for women, and that hatred then goes on to manifest as like a anti-feminist sort of reactionary political leaning, and they start to believe that like all women like are trying to like test men to see if they're not betas, I guess. Like, guys, I hope I don't have too many virgins in chat right now. I don't think I do. At least not as many virgins as in this dude's chat. But regardless, in the real world, not on the internet, women don't generally test you to see if you're a beta male. This isn't a thing that actually happens. I can assure you, you don't have to act like a douchebag to get women. That's not how it works. You just kind of go out and make friends, and you'll meet people. You'll meet women or dudes, depends on whatever you're into, or NBs, whatever you're into. But we'll talk about women in this scenario. Just go out and meet people and make friends. It's really actually not that hard if you aren't a cringy fucking incel teenager reactionary to like make a friendship become a relationship. It's actually not that hard. And if it doesn't work out and you get rejected or whatever, just move on. I know that sounds like, just move on, forehead. It's really not that hard. As long as you're like fairly nice to people and you have something in common and you like put some effort into it, you can pretty easily like find a relationship with a woman. It's not that hard. Like, I know it feels really hard when you're like a teenager in high school or middle school, or if you're like a neckbeard loser who sits on 4chan all day. Like, it is pretty hard to do that because women aren't into this kind of dude. But like, don't put in too much effort, but, you know, apply yourself. Be a decent person. Be interesting. Become an interesting friend, and girls or whoever you're into will think that you could be an interesting partner to be in a relationship with. And yeah, I'm Chad-splaining right now. That's the problem, because I'm clearly a Chad. Look at me. I'm clearly a Chad. I'm totally Chad-splaining to all of you. But seriously, I'm not going to pretend like looks don't play a part in it. I wouldn't say I'm the most attractive guy by any means whatsoever. But like, you can just like put some work into your appearance. Like, you don't need to get plastic surgery or anything like that. There are 5 basic things that you can do that massively increase how attractive you are to people, all right? So you don't have to be like so you don't become a guy like this, okay? Number 1, wash your face. Having blemishes and acne is probably one of the hardest things to deal with if you're like, you know, a person. So literally just washing your face before bed and in the morning does a lot. Like, you don't even need expensive soaps and shit like that. Just like wash your face. Shower once or twice a day, you know? It smell good. Put on deodorant. Wear cologne maybe. Brush your hair. Wear something nice. Look nice, you know? Even if you aren't like physically, like the foundation of your body isn't that attractive, you can wear something nice, dress nice, and work with what you got. And it's better than nothing, I promise you. Number 4, have a nice environment, okay? Like, I'm gonna tell you this right now. Having a dark, dirty, disgusting room that you sit in all day is going to demotivate you more than anything. I'm sorry. Like, there is nothing more demotivating than when you wake up in the morning and you look around and your room is dark and gross. Unironically, clean your room. No, it's true. It's unironically true. Nothing kills your motivation and your mood than doing that. Like, I promise you, right now, if your room is like all gross and stuff like that, go clean it. Open up the blinds, make it nice and bright and nice in there. And I want you to sit down and look around at your cleaned up room and tell me how you feel after that. It feels nice. It really, really does. Like, it does. Back when I lived in Florida and my room would get all messy, I would clean it up and then I would open up the blinds and let the sunlight in. And I would look around and I'd be like, I feel really good. And even while I'm sitting there playing video games or scrolling through Twitter, I would just be in a better mood because the area that I'm in is just nicer. It's nice. It feels good. And the fifth thing you can do in terms of your body or of like making yourself more appealing is just your demeanor, really. Don't be like an edgelord or whatever. Don't be like an asshole. Be just a normal person. You don't have to be like an edgy, irreverent piece of shit to try and make people like you. I promise you, back when I was a reactionary, I did sort of like the edgy, like, these fucking basic bitch thoughts, you know? Like, oh, hold on. Let me tell you a cringe story, okay? And we'll get back to the video. You know the, hold on. Hold on. Let me tell you what I'm talking about. It's really hard to explain in words, but, you know the basic white girl outfit, like this right here? You know, the Uggs, what are they called? Leggings, you know, this outfit, the fucking pumpkin spice lattes and stuff like that. I would incessantly shit on women who dress like this or dressed like this. I would be like, oh, they're so basic. They're, oh, God, fucking basic bitches, no interesting personality traits, fucking Kim Kardashian love, like, you know that kind of thing. That was how I was when I was like a 16, 17-year-old reactionary, okay? And I thought acting edgy and disaffected and sort of like acting like I didn't give a fuck about them would help me get women. I promise you it didn't. You know what did help me get women? When I stopped acting like that. When I started going to the parties that my swim teammates would invite me to, and I would be nice to people, and I would talk to people. Those girls that I would like, you know, make fun of or deep down hate because they were too basic, whatever, I would start talking to them and being nice to them, and you know, conversating with them, finding that we had a lot of things in common, and I would then go on to become friends with them. And maybe you don't end up dating any of those women, but they may introduce you to girls that you may want to date. That happens. In fact, I'll tell you this story 100%. This is a true story. Now, I did still fuck it up because I didn't have the confidence, you know, at the time, but I ended up doing that, going to the to one of my swim teammates' birthday parties and trying to be like nice to everybody, and I end up getting pulled aside. And I'm informed by one of those girls that I used to hate for being all basic and stuff. This one girl that I thought was really pretty, her name was Dawn, had a big crush on me, and liked me. And I didn't know what to do with this information. I was too nervous to actually do anything about it, and like tell her that, oh hey, or like ask her out or anything like that. But one fucking day into changing my attitude about this, and I'd already basically been handed a prospect of a girl that would be down to date, a hot girl, like a really hot girl that would be down to date me, like my 6.5 out of 10 maybe ass, like just basically handed to me on a silver platter. Like, be a nice person, be chill, don't be a fucking like edgelord about it. Like, no one's into that in the real world. Nobody but like fucking incels on the internet think that's cool. All right, let's continue.
American spirit. We don't need masks. We want to breathe the fresh air. Dude, what's wrong with that?
You sound very
Stop, please.
smart.
I can
I'm sure
only
you
get
have a
so
medical
hard.
degree, but can you please just
I
be
sound
less
very
smart?
smart.
You sound
Yeah,
very
I am
smart.
smart.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's about 0.004% people die from this thing.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
So why are you so triggered?
I don't think we're the ones that are being
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah, you are. You're getting mad. I'm just trying to buy a hat.
We just
Is that
Just let me buy the hat and let me move on my
Is
way.
that really what you're trying to do?
I want to
Just
buy my hat. I want to buy the hat, and I want to move on
You
my
guys
way.
all set? Thanks.
Hey Bake, you need to team up with some YouTube pranksters and piss some people off. You would gain many subscribers on.
Can I buy the hat or no?
Have Richard
Why
Spencer
not?
on.
It's a nice hat.
Calling it now. Alpha Alaska gets arrested tonight. Chad mode.
All right, I
Pictures taken shortly before disaster. Just wait.
guess if you're refusing to sell me the hat, I'll just leave it. Have a good night.
All right.
I really
These people unironically believe that this is Chad behavior, by the way. That this dude like going into a store and like screaming at some random fucking minimum wage employees that are asking him to leave because he's being an asshole is Chad shit. This is what people think gets women. This is why, like, unironically, this is the pipeline you go down to become one of those douchebag pickup artists that doesn't actually get women, just makes women feel like uncomfortable and grossed out by them. That like future incels feel like are taking all the women. That's literally how it works. Hold on, can we like draw? Let's like illustrate the stages really quick. I'm not gonna draw it because my drawing pad hasn't arrived yet. A fan said they were gonna send it to me, but it hasn't arrived yet. I don't know if they're actually gonna send it or not. I talked to them on Discord and I sent them my friend's address, so we'll see if that ever ends up showing up. So I'm just going to illustrate it visually, right? You got like the young teenage boys that are like really nervous about talking to women and have a hard time getting a girlfriend. And then you got the dudes who've now gone on to go to different message boards to talk about it and have learned about like the chads, the douchebag chads, and how women only like douchebags, and how the douchebags are taking all the women. And then you get the dudes who think it's oh yeah, feminism, the chads are taking it. And then you get like the like full on incel, like women bad, women only like douchebags thing. And then you move on to like trying to take the red pill and become like a pickup artist. And then you become one of the douchebags that you previously thought was a based fucking woman stealer, but in reality you find out actually women aren't into those kinds of dudes. Like, there are women who are into that kind of guy, like, probably, but for the most part, I've never actually met a girl who was into that kind of dude. Like, if we're being completely honest. I've met a lot of women, and none of them are into this kind of shit.
I really like this hat.
Now you are being.
Yeah.
Stop.
The cop shows up.
Put your camera down. Put
Okay.
your hands behind your back.
What's wrong? What did I do?
You've committed trespassing. I already talked to them on my way here. They asked you 5 times to leave. That's more than reasonable.
I'm leaving right now, sir.
Doesn't matter. You lost that opportunity.
I'm leaving right now.
Turn around. Put your hands behind your back.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious.
Why are you
Because
upset?
these people called me and asked me to be here.
Because of a mask, bro. There's no
No.
mask mandate in Arizona.
It's a
I'm
private.
leaving
no
right
mask
now.
mandate.
You're not leaving.
I wanna leave.
Why
Turn around
not?
and put your hands behind your back.
Please let me
You're
leave.
under arrest for trespassing. I'm dead serious.
I'm leaving
Doesn't
right
matter.
now.
You had that.
I want you to notice that the chat is spamming Alpha and Chad. Meanwhile, he is begging and pleading this cop not to arrest him and just to let him leave. He's acting like a quintessential beta, begging this cop to not, begging for this cop not to like arrest him. Meanwhile, these are literally the consequences for his actions, and he is fucking begging this cop to let him leave like a little baby. And they're like, Chad, Alpha. Oh, thank you, babe. And they're like, Chad, alpha male, yeah. This is like just outright delusion.
That opportunity and you didn't do it.
I'm leaving right
Tell
now.
that
sir.
employee girly I'll leave for
And
a
I'm
quick
leaving right
kiss.
now.
No.
Let me leave.
No.
Yes.
No, stop. You're going to be detained. I don't want to do this to you.
Come on.
Turn around,
Can you
put your
please
hands
let
behind
me
your
leave,
back.
sir? Can we just? I won't come back.
Please let
in
me
here.
leave,
Okay,
sir. I
leave it
won't
right
come
here.
back. I won't
Okay.
come back.
That is these are the issues.
Okay, let's.
Well, there's the karma right there. He also got banned from YouTube for this. If you didn't know, he wasn't banned before. Yes, outright full-on Nazi. Present at a neo-Nazi rally, which resulted in the death of an innocent woman, was not previously banned from YouTube. So he got banned from YouTube for this. Very poggers. But funnily enough, this reminds me of something. That sort of illustrates this isn't just like a one-off thing. This is what these people are actually like. This is what these people really are. Just let's go ahead and take a look. Who remembers this? It's only a short clip. Basically, Andy Worski and I think Baked Alaska was there. I'm not sure. But basically, Andy Worski and some other Nazis were in Miami, and they were doing a stream, and they had the Texas speech on, like Baked Alaska did there. And obviously, they're Nazis, so the donations were repeatedly saying like the N-word and stuff like that, and some dudes got pissed off and told them to leave, and this is what ended up happening.
Stay back! Stay the fuck back!
Wait, what the fuck? Why is it... God damn it. I thought this was the original video. Fuck. Where's the original video? Shit, does anyone have it? Oh yeah, here it is.
Go, walk, bro. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Keep walking. Fucking piece of shit. Fucking knock you out, bro. Yeah, go. Don't do that. Don't jump. Piece of shit. It's alright. He's me.
Back off. You will? Alright, just do it. Alright, go ahead. Back off, sir. Back off.
So these are the two guys that like got pissed off at them for being pieces of shit, and these other two guys, the big dude and the other guy, are Andy Worski's Nazi buddies.
Back the fuck off.
Now you walking up the fuck out. Fuck with me now.
Back
Fuck
off.
with me, you
Back off. You're ready.
fuck you.
Alright, Andy, let's go.
Fucking piece of shit.
Let's
Fucking
go.
kick this guy's fucking ass.
Let's go. Just
You're lucky you're not fucking on the ground bleeding, you faggot.
no, don't say that. Alright.
When was this film? This happened a year
he
ago.
was
a little
all
over a year
bark,
ago.
no bite. Yo, all right, stand your ground.
Stand your ground.
Here he is.
Stand your ground, sir.
Stay back! Stay back!
Grab it. Andrew, grab the fucking
What?
speaker.
Stay back, stay back. Go, aim. Stay back, guys.
All right, go.
Go, Alex.
Do not approach me, sir. Please, do not approach me. I feel frightened. Do not.
Stay back, stay back. Stay back. Stay back. Stay back. Stay back. Stay the fuck back. Stay back. Stay the fuck back. Get the fuck.
So the big dude, I think, ends up pulling out a gun and threatening to shoot them. And we'll go ahead and take a look at what happens about 5 minutes later.
Away.
Will you be
quiet? They're not going anywhere.
It's holstered. Let's put it away.
They're not going anywhere.
They're not going anywhere.
building is this?
Pull a gun on somebody.
They were.
I know, but you don't pull a gun on somebody because they want to fight you.
No, sir.
They don't
Sir.
have any
They were
weapons.
assaulting me earlier.
But they were walking toward us.
Like, honestly, I'm surprised that a Florida cop would actually, like, stop them for this. Like, generally, like, a Florida cop would be siding with Andy Worski on this one. So, I mean, you gotta respect that at least. I mean, ACAB and everything, but, I mean, sometimes the stars just align and you get lucky.
That's why we were asking them to
Doesn't mean
stand
you
back.
pull a gun on them.
There was 2 guys on me.
They were,
And there's
They were
3 of you.
already previously assaulted.
yeah, but
three
no,
of you.
no, but they had separated him.
You ever put the camera down and think to help out your body or
I
call
did.
police?
I did. When that happened, when I saw the swing, I went up to him.
And then your buddy pulled out a gun and pointed at everybody.
He
It's
was,
on here. It's on video.
and they're running towards us.
Huh?
What's going to happen to Alex?
He may be going to jail for aggravated assault.
He never laid a hand on them.
He doesn't have to.
Yep, so his buddy ends up getting arrested, and their night is ruined. So, I want to emphasize that this is all of these people. This is what these people are like, deep down. No matter how much they claim to be these, like, based alpha chads or disaffected, and how the SJWs and the lefties are these sheeple, crazy fucking psychopaths or whatever. Remember, this is what these people really are. The figures that they follow and the fans of those people themselves. This is their true colors. The mask always ends up cracking somewhere down the road. You just have to give it time. And it's fucking hilarious every time.